Not much time to rest here. We're looking at going on to the gold medal match, and the archers chomping at the bit, waiting in the wings. Let's see them come out. Braden Guatemala, world number 9, goes up against the world number 2, Mike Schloesser. Here they come. Individual gold up for grabs here. And a place in the Archery World Cup Finals. Number 1, Guatemala, up against number 2, Mike Schloesser. There is Mr. Perfect, as he's known. He's been knighted in the Netherlands, in his home country. Braden Guatemala, who's just snatched the world number 1 spot away from Mike Schloesser, 34-year-old from the USA, 2-time World Cup final champion. Bags of experience up against, well, calmness personified at full draw in Mikey Schloesser. What more could you ask for on the return to archery than the world number 1 and the world number 2 going up against each other for the gold medal and an automatic ticket to this season finale, the Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals at the end of the season. Mikey Schloesser from the Netherlands on target number 1 will shoot first to get our gold medal match underway.
A little bit of movement with his bow there, but still hitting the 10.
Yep.
Yes. Good reply from Braden. This is kind of how he finished off that semi-final, isn't it? He just looked out of control again there.
Yep.
Could be an interesting match.
It looked to me like Schloesser was trying to guide that arrow once it had left the bow.
Yeah. Once it's gone off and you can see that it wasn't aimed perfectly, you can like try and steer it. Sometimes you might get a bit on it, but most of the time it's just too fast to make a difference to it. But you can see their front arms kind of wildly moving to try and make a difference to it.
Solid start from Braden Guatemala. It's not a bad start from Mikey Schloesser, but at this level, a perfect is, well, prerequisite really. 34 Guatemala leading Schloesser by a single point after the first end. And by crikey, they're shooting very fast.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes, you know, that puts the pressure back on your opponent. It gives them less time to recover for the next shot. But I don't think these guys are playing a game. They're just shooting well-timed arrows that are going off quickly.
Yeah. So a couple of questions. First one is mental fatigue for Mikey Schloesser. Are we starting to see that creep in?
Yeah, he talked about it, didn't he, at the end of the eliminations day, that he just felt tired. He felt like he had nothing left. But, you know, with this format, with the semi-finals today, we thought that, you know, he'd have that time to recharge his batteries and get back here as we know him. But, yeah, he just started off fantastically, but something's not quite right.
Doesn't look perfect for Mr. Perfect. The next question is a simple one, which perhaps I'll leave you to answer once we get this second end underway. And that is, does Braden Guatemala's process for his next arrow begin the minute he shot the previous arrow? It looks to me like he begins his process almost immediately, whereas other archers on the shooting line will have some kind of break or reaction to an arrow. Let's see. You can tell me in a minute. Mikey Schloesser to get end number 2 underway, trailing by a single point.
Jazeker.
I mean, I think Braden, he actually does show quite a lot. You know, he reacts to his arrows, so I think he does have that kind of pause usually. But your process can start anywhere. It can start unloading the arrow, or it can be at full draw.
It just seems to me that he just gets to drawing that. Grouping there. He just gets to drawing that next arrow just a little bit quicker than anyone else.
Ah, so did you see that? He just used his mouth to turn his peep sight. It wasn't in line. He couldn't see.
Yep.
Still a 10. Wow.
Oh, I'd like to see that on a replay.
Jazeker, 10 op de rand.
Well, perfect there for Mike Schloesser. His first of the match. Potentially could still be trailing by 1 though. Oh, big twitch there.
Yeah, you see the change in balance, front back arm, off it went.
Ja, die klapt er goed tegenaan.
Well, he's desperately unhappy. What on earth happened there?
It looked like the balance just completely went. You could see the front arm, back arm kind of went separately, and he really beats himself up, right? This guy just doesn't accept anything other than a great shot, and it hits the 10. Even at a 10 that didn't feel good, he still beats himself up, which is a tactic, but you can really destroy yourself if you go too hard.
I mean, it's really not that far out, and you know, to those new to archery, you probably wouldn't necessarily notice that twitch, but the slightest of movements makes such a massive difference. Even though these arrows are flying pretty damn fast, and you're on a slightly shorter range than a recurve, a tiny millimetre difference in aim makes a huge difference at the other end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think at like a degree different at this end, we probably missed that target face. I know we're at 50 metres, but we've got a small target face on there, so it is critical, you know. It's a high level precision.
Well, it certainly is high level. Both archers have dropped just a single point through the first 2 ends. Mikey Schlosser will shoot first again. Really good look at his sight there as well.
Jazeker, net geen X.
That's
Rechtsonder.
the result
Net naar buiten.
being near perfect. A 10. How does Guaranteeing recover from the 9 at the end of the last end?
Yep.
Ooh, didn't look too happy with that.
Yeah, similar kind of movement, wasn't it? Unbalanced. That nice.
9,8 links ook.
Too much in the back, maybe? Just lifted it high.
Yep, there
Fast.
it is.
And then the X.
Wij ook. Goed, jongen, X.
Big
Links ook
twitch
tegen de
there,
ander.
but gets away with a 29. Just struggling to work out what's going on here.
Yep, all day long.
Another grimace, but another perfect score from Braden Gellenthiene. 89, playing 88, so leading by a single point. But what I'm struggling with is that we've seen throughout the individual sessions here some very curious shots from some very, very high-rated and ranked archers. Is it down to dread to keep going on about blooming coronavirus, but it has caused a problem for everybody. People have not been competing as much.
Yeah.
Your physicality can't be as good, and certainly in archery, the mental side of the game is so important. If you're not facing someone regularly on the shooting line, is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, I mean, you can go away and train on your own and be really fit and strong, and there is a lot you can do in the mental game, but it's really hard to recreate the pressure, stand on this line. You know, World Archery have increased the prize fund this year, an extra 20%. There's a lot at stake here, and this person who wins this match is going to the finals. So they both really want it.
Yeah, all of that added pressure in terms of the World Archery's decision, which was made before we went into the hiatus to increase the prize fund, as you said, Nikki. You know, and the fact that that winning a stage books you a place in the finals, you know, is compounded by the fact they haven't faced each other for 18 months. Well, trailing by a point again. Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands, the world number 2, will shoot first in end number 4. Didn't look happy again. I mean, this is phenomenal. You're watching. It's almost like a breakdown of Mikey Schloesser. It sounds really harsh, but we're so used to him just going 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. To see so many 9s is very unusual.
On the spider.
Breaking the hoodoo, perhaps. Bit of a longer hold there from Gellenthiene.
And another point opened.
Still notionally leading by a point, though, the American.
Ja,
And that's a beautiful couple of shots from Mikey Schlosser, showing that he's still well in this. 10 required from Gellenthiene to hold the lead.
There it is.
10 it is. So still a single point lead for the American, but still the curiosity of this competition, our first back after 18 months, is proving fascinating watching.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, the pressure's just on. Just like we said just now, there's so much at stake. It's so great to see these guys out here competing again. They both really want it.
Yeah, and again, what more can you ask for? A return back to archery after the long wait to full international. We've got a 9 marked on Schlosser's first arrow for a measure. That's an interesting one. And that could make a difference. It's now just been removed, actually, so that is remaining a 9. 117 plays 118, but what more can you ask for? The return to archery has been spectacular. And the world number 1 against the world number 2, perhaps not quite on their greatest form just yet, but they are the top in the world, and they're back shooting off for gold here at stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup Series. 1 point in it. Gellenthiene there leading Mikey Schlosser on the right. So Schlosser will shoot first. The final 3 arrows, potentially, of the gold medal match.
Even weiter, 9,8 laag.
Could be a problem. Can Gellenthiene take advantage here? Already had a 1 point lead. That is now 2 points. Schlosser needs to put this in the centre of the target to put some kind of pressure on Gellenthiene.
Ja, zeker, Rex. Goed, jongen. Good, strong shot.
Seems all or nothing at the moment, doesn't it? Either perfect X's straight in there or just into the 9.
Yep. Show me another one.
Good grouping, good way to finish. Look at him loading the arrow for his final shot as well. Nothing more for Schlosser to do other than put it into the 10.
Ja. Good, strong shot.
Another 29 to finish for him, a 138. So a 9 will take the Guatemala gold, and it's a 10. A beautiful way to finish. He really wanted that, and finally we're seeing some signs of joy from BRADEN Gellenthiene. The world number 1 has taken the first Hyundai Archery World Cup Series stage here of 2021 in Guatemala City, and there is the smile finally. A topsy-turvy win to take the gold. In fact, it was a topsy-turvy semi-final as well. He was much stronger, but 29's all the way through, not what we're used to.